Hello, my dear friends, how are you today? Today, I want to touch on a topic that some of my subscribers ask me to, and it's to teach. I don't know if I can teach because I learned some music, but most of my music playing is improvisation, most of it. So, how to improvise on a piano? But first, we should ask ourselves why to improvise? Why is it happening? So, the simple answer is when you are improvising, you are alive. What do I mean? When I'm hearing or playing someone else's piece, it's live because it's me that playing it, but it will be different on each player that will play this piece. Each player will bring his personality and his techniques and his skills into the piece. Okay, so each and every piece you are playing, it's a little bit alive because you are the factor of living. What do I mean living? Living is motion. Okay, it's not on the scale. When you are looking at a dead man, there is a line not moving, but if there is life there, the line is moving up and down because living is movement. Okay, and when you are playing the same songs, even you have a repertoire of 100 songs, let's say 100 songs. Okay, but still to listen all the time to the same 100 songs, it's getting boring. And I think playing is expression of feelings. And when you are playing someone else's piece, you express his feelings, his state, not yours. And when you want to bring your feelings, your state of being, your emotion, your skills into the game, you have to learn to improvise. To improvise it's just like knowing yourself. Okay, and of course the skills that you purchase in time, because eventually we are copying everyone, because what we are playing is from, even when we are talking to each other, we are using words that we learned from another people. There isn't a word that we invented, let's say. So when you are improvising, you are bringing from your memory and your I don't want to say emotion, your experience of the past. You are bringing phrases of music that that is in your mind, and you are bringing phrases of chords that you already played before. Okay, even when we are talking, first of all, we are learning to talk like other people, and then we start to make our own chords, okay, our own language, our own style of talking, let's say. It's the same with playing the piano or any instrument. When you are playing your own music, it drives you because this is new. Every time some of my subscribers says to me that they are coming back to my channel because each review, each time it's new music. It's not the same tune over and over again. And that's because I'm playing. it's not easy to me to replay the same melody over and over again. That's why I didn't went to the classical approach, and I stopped it because it was all about the discipline. And for me, music is freedom. Also freedom from discipline. You have to have some rules. If not, your ear will respond to the unharmonic things you are doing, but you start to learn the right connection between notes. Okay, now I will demonstrate how I am improvising, and this is for the intermediate players like me, but let's talk about classic players, classic piano players. If you know classic piano players, most of them don't know how to improvise. Why is that? This is because their level of playing, it's much higher than their understanding the music. Because when you are improvising, you are understanding your music. You know where to go without someone telling you. It's like to read a book, to be a fabulous reader, but you cannot write a book, you know. And because they read so fluently and so accurately books of others, they don't know how to write themselves. So this is also for you, this mini course that I will do here. So first of all, we go to tunes that we already know, okay? And then we need to understand what's going on here. And this is the most important thing, to understand what's going on here. So let's take Jealous Guy, the song, the famous song Jealous Guy of the Beatles, I think, or Paul McCartney, or I don't know. Okay, so I'm playing it on on C scale, C major scale. Okay, usually I'm doing this or this. It's making the chord playing more alive, more natural like. Now, the bass is very important thing because the bass help you to recognize the chord, okay? So if I'm starting with C, I'm going down to A. And then to G. G7. A minor. A minor on F sharp bass. Okay, I'm going from this accord to G. Again, A minor. Now, instead of going to the F sharp, I'm going to F. Now we are getting out of the scale, and this is one of the most beautiful things, because I'm not just playing this song, this familiar song, because I want to see the structure of the chords from people I love their music. And now when I have the structure, it's like a structure of a building. The rooms you are making yourself. The rooms is the melody. But the structure is the shape of the chords, because when we are improvising, we want to know where we are going. there is a simple element of chord, like the major famous one is the 1, the 5th, and the 4th, okay? C, G, and F. Now you can take this chord progression and roll with it. And then, invent your own melody over it. So music is a repetition of things, but if you do not want to be boring, you have to change to flow to another streams. So to interest again your listener, in this case yourself, okay? So if I'll go from C, and I'm always bringing the 2nd note or the 9th. And the major, sometimes when it's, you need to recognize and be free with your piano. And sometimes the 4 sharp. This is improvising, to play. And now change to unfamiliar territory. You see, I went from C major to the A flat major. So this is more interesting than C and G. And you can sometimes bring this one and sometimes bring this one. And now we go one more to the B flat. And then we will go to the F. And then we can go to this accord. It's like a F minor 7th on B flat. And then we coming back to the root to C major. And now we want, this was all major things. And now we go to the minor scale. And now, instead of going to F or something like that, me personally, I go to the A flat major. You see A minor 7 and A flat. Why? Because they have the same keys, the C and the G in both of the chords. And to go from minor to major so close, only half a tone, you can see I'm just going down, looking for the connection between. And very important to look for the right bass. The bass is the accord, you know. Now, instead of going to F major, I'm going to the F minor to make it more spicy. And then going from F minor to C major, this is more interesting than to go to C minor. So it's all about be creative with your thinking, with your rhythm, change rhythm, start to play. You see, this is a piece I learned from Spotify playlist, my own Spotify playlist of another artist. You know, Spotify offers you tracks to your playlist that sounds like already the song. So there is an algorithm that analyze the style of your playing or your songs and look for similar styles. So this is one of the songs I already posted. So it's not to imitate it, it's to know what's going on there. It starts like this. I will play it for a minute and then we will go to how you can improvise. Learn yourself the way, the trail of the music that you like and start painting on the same trail, on the same environment you like, your own drawings, okay? And sometimes go to another place and go back. This is the story of improvisation. Okay, let's hear it. So as you can see, his whole piece is on the C minor scale. And the nice thing is he's coming back the same part, but the second time he will not go back to this F major 7, he will go to the G minor 7. And then his right hand will jump one octave above to bring this change of environment, the effect on the solo, on the melody, okay? This is the second time he's still playing now he's going to G major and then he's jumping up. Now, okay, so the punch here is this F major instead of F minor on the scale. It's bringing some freshness, some orangey to the story. This is the regular accords, okay? Na, na, na. Da, na, 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 na. This accord, this is the punch, okay? Na, 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 na. So this composer going always back to this major, to this happiness. This is the resolve, you see? And sometimes one good also a nice trick I'm using on my chord pattern is going from the major to the fifth minor, like this song. So you see the interesting thing here, if you was the composer, you go to C minor and then G minor and then F minor. So what he's doing here is going to the major and then the minor instead of G major. So it takes you from happiness to sadness and from sadness to happiness, and it's making you involved. And also in this song that I played before, we went, okay, this one. You see, it's going always back to this F major. Is always resolving here. From sad melody, you are always ending with a smile, you know? Because this is sad is deep. This is deep. You see, this is F minor. This is the natural one. Also minor, but one up, so it's more happier. So it's going to say this is going somewhere else now. The happy one. You see, this was improvisation. I'm going with the mood that the song got to me. So there is on my this is now my level. It's still it's not jazz, but it starts to look that way. But it's going from minor to major on the same scale. And another tip to improvise. First of all, improvise for dummies. Just tap on the keys, find the relationship of them. Sometimes go out of your scale to spice things up. Look for, even if you're making mistake, you will find the route notes. You know to identify them. And this is the next tip. Go with scales you don't know. Why? Because scales you are already familiar with, there will be a problem. Because you will go to the same path you know on this scale. But when you are going to new scale, you will find the route notes. You know to identify them. And this is the next tip. Go with scales you don't know. Why? Because scales you are already familiar with, there will be a problem. Because you will go to the same path you know on this scale. But when you are going to new scale, you will find the route notes. You know to identify them. And this is the next tip. Go with scales you don't know. Why? Because scales you are already familiar with, there will be a problem. But when you are going to new scale, and your mind is not trapped with your habits because you don't regular to play on this scale. So you are looking, and while you are looking your familiar ways, in your mistake, you are discovering new chords and new combinations. So my recommendation is to change, like the F sharp, the black keys. You can do so many things with it. Like let's improvise on it. You don't need to know to play, just and then look to the sound. Now, because this is a scale that I'm not playing usually, I'm going to different places because the placement of the keys, and I'm more connected to what I want to hear in my mind than to the natural places I will go with the familiar scale. So here I'm more concentrated on the melody than the harmony. You see, this I'm not usually playing this scale. Who plays A flat scale, you know? So when you are playing songs on scales you don't know, you will improvise to play your song, you know. So this is a great way to improvise, to change scales. Just play it on a different scale and you will get new accords. And you know, improvising is exploring things. This is improvising. To go to some place you like. So if you are in in a chilling mood, go to a major chord. C major and D major. Now the minority coming. just, instead you can go from I could go to E minor, but I chose from the D to go to A, to resolve it with a happy attitude. So C and D, they are not on the same scale. So the scale here became E, even though I started it with the C major, because D is on E scale, but C is not. But instead of going to E major, I'm going to E minor, because my first initiation to the song was C major and E minor. But this D, instead of D minor, D, is bringing you to the joy of the thing. So this is non-conventional use of accords and to go from this to this, okay? But this is what makes things just more interesting, And usually see, this is the one that makes it more interesting. G, E minor, C, and C minor. And this is the punch. Because I'm not a fast player and not trained, not a classical or traditionally trained musician, I'm using my finger, my playing to extract the emotion, and this is very helpful on improvising. And it's to change something, to not to stay on the same. Go out of your comfort zone. Go do some modulation. Go out of your scale and come back to it. Go sometimes to the minor one and sometimes to the major. You see, I'm just playing my right hand going along. Instead of the obvious one, and then it's letting me go from the major to the minor, and then I'm already on another scale, on E flat, skate major, and then I'm going to G major, and then A flat major, and back to the G minor. And now, instead of going to F major, I will go to F minor 7. Now I can go back to C minor, but I want to go to E flat. And now to D flat. And back to C minor. Instead of C minor, let's go to C major. Now we are going to other mood. Make the carpet, make the just C and F. It's okay to make a mistake. That's why you need to look for the accord you want. You see, I got to B flat scale. I don't know how. From F to A, and from A to B flat, and to B flat minor, C major, B flat, F. D minor, relation with F, B flat, watch my hand. Understand the logic going from major to minor, up and down to the fifth, to the fourth, but to have a connection between the accords. Okay? Even if it's hard to make a connection between G and G sharp, you have to make to keep the connection, to make the the A flat minor, so there will be a connection between the two of them. But if you want to be bold, like on the Spanish music, so they are taking you up one stairs. Anyway, this was my first trying to show, but this is why I love the piano, because for me the piano is always alive. Always something else will go under my fingers. And because I'm not playing by notes, you know, some of the music I memorize, but usually it's to play from hearing. It's not just improvising. To hear a song and to know how to play it. It's to know the roads, you know, to learn the forest. And there is much more higher levels than mine, of course, but this is the level of the, you know, the most popular songs, the simple ones. And, you know, follow composers you like. Listen, go to, you know, you have to know accords. This is have to do. Okay, this is the family, you know. You have to know the families. You don't need to know the person in itself, but the family, because this is very difficult to do without knowing chords. But chords, it's much easier than to read notes, you know, individual notes with the rhythm of the notes. Chords, it's the atmosphere, and this is you have to know. And when you learn a chord sequence, open sites with the chord, you know, chord progression of songs, and then stop playing the melody of the song you know after you are familiar with the structure of the song. Start playing your own melodies on these structures. And the next level is to change structures, to find the structures you are naturally going to, or to learn your left hand to be accompanying subtly the right hand, and let the right hand do what she is doing. Let her search, let her do mistake. Don't worry about mistake. This is the way you are learning. This is easy. This is everyone can do this. So your mind starts to adopt the minor and the major difference. So the left hand just keeping the rhythm, okay? Just, you know, to be gentle with the piano and caress him, like. Okay, so this is the end of this part one, and I will. I think my sort of playing is very easy to learn because it's not difficult, you know. This is something that everyone can do. Just watch my hand and start to develop your own walking on the park. Just enjoy it, you know. And you are enjoying that every and each time you are doing different things. It become more lively. Okay, so this is the end. Thank you. And I will get you on the next time. Bye bye.